Oh, welcome, my Tarot Maniacs. How are you guys? We are streaming to Facebook as well. So wanted to get some of my Facebook friends in here. Guys, I'm in a bikini and a scarf. So this is the least dressed you will ever see me on the internet. So it's a scarf, Zeph. It's actually, I wear it as a skirt. I wear it as everything. Thank you very much. I have some new goodies from Otter Spirit. We'll talk a little bit about them as well. But if you were in my live the other day, what happened was I did a reading on Mackenzie Shirilla. And I did like a remote view on her, and I got a very, very dark experience that happened. And we're going to talk about it because I did a little meditation on said girl. And Alexander Khan, welcome to the fray. Good to see you. And I also want to let everybody know that Dr. Patrick is in here. Everybody give him a nice greeting. Dr. Patrick, I was delighted to have him in my live last week. And I'm delighted that he is here. So I love that. We're going to be using the Star Tarot, which is... this is a Thoth-like deck, so we're going to be using this, and I think I'm going to be using this all week. I'm going to do some content, some production content for you guys, so you're going to get some of that. This live is going to be fast and dirty, kids. Fast and dirty. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about Mackenzie Shirilla a little bit. If you have been under a rock, Mackenzie Shirilla is the subject of the Netflix movie. It is a documentary. It is about a young lady who in 2022 was in a terrific accident that took the life of her boyfriend at the time, Dominic Russo, and Davion Flanagan, their mutual friend. The court case as it proceeded, they did a bench trial. They tried her as an adult despite her being 17 at the time, and they determined, the judge and the court determined that it is likely that she drove into the wall. When I did the reading on her, the remote view on her, and I used my obsidian sphere from Otter Spirit, guys, there is a link on my About page if you'd like to get yourself some goodies from them, which does help me. Hi, Choose Able. It does help me get into the remote views and see things a little bit clearer. It facilitates the aesthetic impression, the aesthetic impact where you actually walk into it. So I did encounter her and she looked right at me. What I discovered in my meditation about her, and to be sure, I grounded myself very securely before I did this. I do believe, it is my assertion, that Mackenzie Shirilla was a host to another spirit. This can happen when people are in an accident and in a coma or induced coma, something like that. It also is something that happens to people that have substance abuse issues. There's some great books that, and I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this. There's some great books that talk about walk-ins. And we'll talk a little bit about walk-ins for a minute. If any of you want your questions answered, if anyone wants a question answered in this live, you can drop super chat or do PayPal, donate to my PayPal, and just put it all in caps in the comments so I see it. I will check your PayPal before I proceed. Hi, Cindy. Sunday fun day. So walk-ins, what a walk-in is when an individual, they may have some feelings about taking themselves off the earth plane, those kinds of things, depression, substance abuse, all of that. It creates a lack of connectivity with the body that allows another spirit to come in and do whatever they want, unfortunately. There are some circumstances where a walk-in will come in and share the host physical form for some time. And so there's a gradual changeover of the personality. A number of years ago, when I was in my 20s, we had a friend that was in a terrible, terrible car, bike accident, pedal bike, and was in a coma for about 3 weeks. When he came out of that coma, he was a very, very different person. And I almost felt like I met a new friend. Oddly enough, he was a little bit more warm and fuzzy on the other end of it. I question whether that friend of mine survived that accident. I question whether he did. He was very, very different, and we did fall out a number of years. I mean, not like in a terrible way, but just, life gets in the way. I do think that Mackenzie, I do think that with the substance abuse that she was doing, I think that there is a great potential for a walk-in kind of situation like this. The amount of greed and desire of acquisition that she had is somewhat indicative of that. The rages that we witnessed in the video footage that Dominic Russo, everyone says Dominique. I think there's something to that. A lot of people keep calling him Dominique, but I do think that there's one incident where he's recording a video of her pounding on his door and demanding to be let in, demanding that he talk to her. He says, "I'll talk to you outside." She says, "No." I think that those rages are perhaps the walk-in situation. My psychic, we're not talking about a walk-in nail appointment. No, Cindy, this is not a walk-in nail appointment, not at all. So what I think may have happened, I think that spirit may have taken over, fueled the rage. Now, here's the thing, is that even the host doesn't know that walk-in is really, the agreement that you make with that other entity is not one that you make cognitively. It is one that your just lack of agency over your life just says, okay, we'll just move on to another realm. We just kind of give up. It is taking yourself off the earth plane without doing it and leaving behind your vessel to continue. Now, Zeph, I love that you brought that up, Zeph, because in some cases, if you look at the data behind walk-ins, it's not always a demonic possession. Sometimes these people have a different entity that comes in that is just a soul that tra-la-la, maybe someone who fell out of their body and needed to jump into another one and wants another chance. So it's not always demonic possession. It's not a great thing to do. And I do think that there's a lot of exhaustion that you see when that's happening. Personality changes, behavior changes, different things that different colloquialisms that the person will say. Sometimes they will actually adapt like the language of the other person. And I thought it was really interesting. Hey, we got a lot of people in here. We got a lot of people coming over. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So I don't think that it is always negative. Would I want a walk-in to take over my form? Absolutely not. Not interested. But I think that that is the situation that happened. When the accident happens, I'm saying it, guys, I think, and I hate to say like good part, bad part, but I do think that the good part, the redeemable part of the physical form of Mackenzie Shirilla, I think that the good part left. And I think that we're going to see some interesting things. Now, I am halfway through the Chris Cuomo interview with the father. And I want to take a look at a few things here. And I am taking questions, guys. I am taking questions from you, super chats, super stickers, or PayPal donate. If you do a PayPal donate, make sure that you do your question in all big letters, and I will check your PayPal. All of that is pinned up at the top. Zeph, I am going to say that I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any left in her. I think this is where we're headed in this direction. So let's take a look. I'm going to bring up the card view. If you haven't smashed that like button, go ahead. Give it a tickle. Give it a shoulder bump, whatever you want to do. And if you have questions about this case, you can just do those in caps. No supers required for that if you want to keep going on this. Got a few appointments a little bit later on. And I do have a little bit of a hard stop, I think, at 3 o'clock. So if we go long, we go long. If we don't, we don't. I haven't done a Sunday live in a long time because there's always been a traffic jam on YouTube. So let's take a look. So am I right? Did Mackenzie Shirilla hop out of her body at the accident? Did she hop out of her body? Two of Swords. What does that say, guys? Two of Swords. Two of Swords. You girls play nice. Play nice in the chat there. Play nice. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. I don't ban people or block people unless they really jack me up. So everybody play nice. We're all friends. We're all friends at Annabelle's house. If everybody's nice, I'm going to tell you how I make this iced coffee that is delicious. So Zev, I think something was sharing that form with her for some time. Over here, Two of Swords, this is the splitting of the share. We're not going to share this dorm room anymore. You're going to get going. So I think that the Mackenzie that Natalie gave birth to, the one that she raised and taught how to walk, I think that one's gone. So what is the future of this new entity that's in there? So very strongly, I am getting that this entity is enjoying the time in this form. I mean, like, for all purposes, I mean, there's a few content creators out there that are like, oh, she's all bug-eyed. I think she's very cute. I think there's a lot to work with there. Super thin. I mean, I think the kid weighs like 80 pounds. But I get that this entity is going to enjoy this form for as long as possible and then flame out. This is going to be like a 27 club member. Market, it's going to be a psychic score. I'm telling you, she's not going to make it that long. She's not going to make it that long. She's going to meet the wrong person where she is, or she's going to take the wrong thing. And this entity is going to take an off ramp. So what is the goal for now? Actually, I'm going to say this. The entity is enjoying the time spent in this form and enjoying the time spent in the detention center. Let me give you some fun facts here, guys. Use some fun, not so fun facts. These are not so fun facts. Where is it? Where are my notes? Give me my notes. Well, it looks like my notes. Oh no, there it is. my notes here. All right. So where is this gal? So currently, and I want to also disclaimer this. I want to be really respectful of Dominic's and Davion's families. I don't want to talk about what happened in that car. There's a lot of speculation about whether those boys were trying to save themselves. I do think that they were. One of the things that I'm curious about, because every time I mention a product, my phone starts showing me ads. I'm not sure why we can't get the algorithmic data from the phone and find out what was going on in that car, because that is where we would get, confirmation of what they believe. So she is currently, I had all of my information, currently appealing through the Ohio Supreme Court. She is housed, thought I had where she was, the Ohio Reformatory for Women, serving a sentence of 15 years to life. Just for you guys, what that means is she has to do 15 years. They're concurrent sentences. They're stacked together, not one after the other, but she has to do 15 years before she will be able to go before the parole board, and the victim's family statements will factor into all of those appeals. Is Barney here? Hey, Barn. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. So the victim statements will have a big deal, a large impact on the parole board. So as long as they keep writing letters, and we saw this with Sharon Tate's family. Sharon Tate's family went before the parole board every time a Manson family member was up for parole. So yes, it is very sad that the family has to go on and on with it. I totally agree. So what is the intent of, and we're going to call it an entity. I can't really call it anything else. And that is why it was so disturbing when I did the remote view, despite having this fantastic protective obsidian. You can see I'm wearing obsidian and a number of red jasper. I'm wearing a number of things also from Otter Spirit on my wrist. I got another goodie that I'm going to show you guys, because I'm going to use that for some of my psychic stuff as well. Another sphere was sent to me. But what is the intention of this entity? What is this entity's end game? Sun, to be back in a physical form. 8 of Wands, Ace of Wands, Justice in reverse. So, 3 of Swords, there we go, and 8 of Swords. So I think that this entity really is trying to get on the outside so that it can do some more damage in terms of psychological damage. This really isn't physical damage. We've got a lot of swords here, got the Justice card. It's trying to get the findings, the sentence overturned, the conviction. It's not just the sentence it's trying to overturn. It's the conviction that they're trying to overturn. They're going to try and say that this POTS thing. And to be sure, I want you guys to know this. I actually have had a POTS-like experience where I was standing up and I was getting very dizzy and lightheaded. And it's a very difficult diagnosis to nail down. And it is a blood pressure thing. Your blood pressure just drops to your feet. You get dizzy. You want to fall down. It's not, you go limp. It's not something that, your foot hits the gas and your slide gets stuck under the gas pedal. It doesn't happen like that. So they are trying to turn this over. They will not be able to. Hi, Bex. They will not be able to. This is not going to work. This entity is not going to be happy. It's going to be stuck in there. So that is probably where this entity is going to act about in the reformatory, the Ohio Reformatory for Women. already doing it, already enjoying the fruits of incarceration. Ace of Cups, Hermit in reverse, can't do its job, Emperor. So 2 of Cups, there we go, and the Sun, and the 8 of Wands. So what the entity is going to do is going to kind of schedule an exit from the corpus. And it will do it in a very big fashion and try to martyrize the physical body of Mackenzie Shirilla. It's going to try to have everyone change their opinion about it after the physical form is no longer functional. So I would be very, very concerned about substances. I would be very, very concerned about mouthing off and getting the smackdown, not like The Rock, but the smackdown from somebody in the facility. That's how they are going to exit this body. Because, you know, when you think about it, even if this is like a demonic entity or a bad entity, the idea behind it is you want to take over that form so that you can go do some cool stuff, you know, go create chaos everywhere. And if you're stuck incarcerated, there's only a limited amount of chaos that you can start. You can't, you're in with the baddest of the bad. I'm the baddest of the bad since you've been gone. Hands up, who likes the Reverend Horton Heat? I love the Reverend Horton Heat. I think the rest of my day is going to be spent listening to Whiskey in the, what is it? Whiskey in the Back? I can't remember the name of that album. So yes, Haley, her girlfriend in the spa, as we call it in my family, her girlfriend has already kind of roughed her up. Yeah, that's already happened. So I think, you know, the setup now is to kind of get there and to get to that point where the spirit is just going to leave that body. I think substances are one thing, but it's going to be a better exit if someone does it for the entity. And how do we do that? We mouth off. We mouth off and we create a ruckus. So if you guys have any questions about that, you can drop them. I want to introduce you to my new Solidite. Solidite, this is from Otter Spirit. They sent this to me. It's another one of the spheres. Now I've got the Solidite and I've got my obsidian. And so I'm going to be experimenting with the Solidite a little bit later on today. The message, if you order anything from Otter Spirit, use the link that's in my bio, my about section. Also, there's 2 codes. There's one code that is Fortune 20, 20% off any purchase. There's another code that's Fortune 30. It's 30% off any purchase over 99. I want to let you guys know the spheres, they've got new ones in there. They've got statement size, which is, I think, 3 times the size of this. Didn't get one yet. I'm working on it. But the Solidite is, I think, clearly and speak my truth, which I do think is going to lean heavily into my psychic readings. This affects the third eye chakra and the throat chakra, which are things I need to do as a psychic. Zodiac signs, Sagittarius, Virgo, Aquarius, and Gemini. Not exclusively, though. I'm a Cancer. You guys know that. Sometimes we've got to fill me up, Buttercup. Intention is intuition and confidence. This gives us lots of strength. If I could give some Solidite to every single one of my psychic students, I would. I think it's a great thing. And it looks like, you know, looks like the Earth. Look at that. It looks like a little planet. So we're going to have some fun with that. Capricorn. Yes, we got a Capricorn. So if you guys want to hook yourself up, I've got a lot of other goodies from them. So keep an eye on this space for me featuring some of their products. I love Otter Spirit. Great company. They have a great mission. They support otters in Monterey Bay. Every purchase, they give some money over to the otters for support. But we are going to use this as we are looking at the Shirilla parents, the creators of this child. So what was Steve Shirilla's worst mistake with this child? Star in reverse, strength. So when I do the 2 cards like this for everybody that's new, I want you to think about it as noun and adjective. That's how we look at this easy way to understand it. I'm grabbing my soul as solidite so that I am going to speak clearly and get some intuition. Cindy, hang on a second. I will give you a recommendation. I will give you a recommendation on bracelets for you. So, and I also want to feature somebody. We got a new person in here. A new person in here said, I like your style. Hi, Nori No Eyes. Hi, thank you for liking my style. I am in a scarf today. I'm not really even dressed. I'm never fully dressed without a smile. So, all right. So Steve Shirilla's worst mistake as a parent with Mackenzie. Star in reverse is very on the moment kind of thinking. The way that he conducts himself is very much, this is what I feel like doing now. And I think that his career kind of reflects that as well, because he recently became a teacher. He had some other jobs. Apparently I think he's got some Emmys or something like that. But he was very in the moment thinking, this is a guy who wanted to make a splash, make some money. Hi, Penny Jonas. Wants to make a splash, wants to make like a big hit all at once. He's not someone who builds wealth and growth and kind of move forward. He's not really thinking into the future. He is thinking in the moment. The star card. The star card is actually my card of the summer, I think. I was over on the Tarot Guild. If you guys are real keen on tarot specifically, go give a subscribe to the Tarot Guild. There's a guy named Dax that runs it. He's really, really cool. They did a reading for me yesterday. I had some questions, and star card came up, and I just decided that the star card is my card of the summer. So that is the future, hopefulness, looking into the future, bringing those manifestations to us. So I think that Steve Shirilla is somebody who's like in the moment kind of guy. He's having fun in the moment. If we're not having fun, let's switch it up. Let's put another album on, change the radio station. Let's not go to McDonald's. Let's go to the steakhouse. He's like very, very quick thinking. Responses to the things in the moment. He makes decisions in the moment that aren't sustainable in the future. The strength card here is not necessarily showing control and discipline over that. More so, it's a doubling down on it. I can ride that tiger. I can take care of it anytime I want. I can sort out the problem, but everything is very reactionary in his world. So that's his worst mistake. That's his worst mistake. I saw that question come through. Thank you so much. I didn't see who it was. I didn't do a slow chat on this. Becky, that's for you. No slow chat. Poor Becky thought that she turned the chat to slow. She was like, what have I done now? So Natalie Shirilla, the mom, her worst mistakes. We'll do a reveal. Worst mistakes. 2 of Swords, 5 of Swords. It's you and me, kid, against the world. Isar, yes, I am taking personal questions, super chat, super stickers, or you can do a PayPal. Just make sure if you do a PayPal, you put your question all in caps. And if you want to wait until I'm offline, I do have space for 15-minute and 30-minute private sessions today. So you can go on over there and you can book one. Again, my link is in the description or pinned to the top of this chat. Becky, I'm glad you're laughing at that. You didn't do it, Becky. It wasn't your fault. So Natalie Shirilla, 2 of Swords. She did not know where Mackenzie started and she began. She really, everyone says like, oh, living vicariously through your children. And I think we all want to live vicariously through our children. I'm a musician. I'm not a great musician. I'm a great singer, but I'm not a great musician. And as much as I want to be, still practicing my violin. I'll be doing it after this live. I take great joy in watching my son succeed at being such an amazing musician. My daughter is so much more controlled with her personal presentation. And I take such joy in that she just has so much more composure than I do. She's a lot less Jersey than I am. She's a lot less Jersey. So it's really wonderful to live vicariously through your children as they succeed. Natalie Shirilla did understand that her daughter was succeeding. And I'm going to keep the solidite in my hand. I'll keep it up here so you guys can see I have a big blue marble. Natalie Shirilla was enjoying the success that her daughter was having very much in the spirit of a teenager. Carne Isa, Carnacia, it is whatever you want. There's whatever you want. I like to keep it open. And while Carnacia is saying that, I want to remind everybody, if you do want private readings with me, I don't have any available today, but I have 3 pay what you can half-hour readings available every single week so that I can keep this cost-effective for you, especially those of you that have financial questions. I want to keep it as inexpensive as possible. I want to make sure that everybody can get a shot at getting a reading with me. So every week, there's 3 pay what you can readings that are available to you guys. I just ask that you don't overuse them. Like if somebody's booking one with me every week, like, come on, give somebody else a chance. Or if you're booking all of them, just be cognizant and make sure that everybody can get a chance in there. I'm trying to scroll up my chat here so I can see what's going on. So Isar, fantastic. Thank you. I got your question. Just sit tight, sweetie pie. So, all right. So she was living vicariously through her daughter. Within that, she is also fighting all of her daughter's battles. Why is this an issue? This is an issue because her daughter's not fighting them. Her daughter is the mouth. Remember that cartoon where we had like the little dog and the big dog, and the little dog would like talk some smack and bark, 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 and then the big dog would have to come in and rescue them. This is kind of what was going on. Unfortunately, Natalie is not super proficient at fighting those battles. And we saw that in the courtroom when they were doing the victim statements. She just presented very, very poorly. The judge even called her out on it. It was pretty awkward moment. 6 of Pentacles, begging for people to love her daughter the way she does. This is something that Natalie cannot understand, that it is really, really easy for people to not like her daughter. Her daughter is extremely unlikable. So what is the future? We all know Steve Shirilla, if you're following the case, Steve Shirilla has lost his teaching job. What is next for him? Predicting lawsuits. So let's see if we see justice or anything like that. Any swords here? Steve Shirilla, what is the future for you? I can't even believe that card came out. I can't believe it. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can't believe it either. I can't believe it. I shuffled them right in front of you. I'm not looking at them. I swear on my eyes. Swear on my eyes. So justice card. He's going to sue. What's the story? Who is he suing? 5 of Wands. Everybody. The devil. He is going to throw this at the wall. One of the things when you go to law school, the first thing they do when you start litigation is they tell you, throw it all at the wall, sue everybody. And what's going to happen is somebody is going to cave. Whoever's got the deepest pockets, whoever has the best insurance policy, they're going to cave, they're going to pay it and get out of the situation so they don't have to pay the legal fees. Let me get my flip-flops off here, guys. So within that suing of entities to get his life back. So I don't think he's going to sue the school. What I think he's going to do is sue on behalf of like the negative PR that he has, like turning it around. He's going to keep doing these interviews. He's going to keep doing them. If you haven't watched, look at this. It's not boding well for him. Star in reverse. If you watch the Chris Cuomo interview, he actually yells at Chris Cuomo at one point, yells at him. Not the best idea when you're trying to get some things done. So I want to take a second and I want to thank my mods for being here. Let me give my mods a little applause. Where's the applause? Applause. My mods are all not on a payroll. They have no benefit package and no 401k or pension. They do a hell of a job here. They keep the riffraff out and they keep the chat sweet. So mind them, because they have wielding of supreme powers here. Mods are great. Thank you so much for doing what you do, guys. You are freaking-tastic. No benefit package whatsoever. But Zeph, we might go on vacation at some point, so we'll figure that out. So I do think that Steve Shirilla is going to continue to talk. Currently has no representation. He did say in the Chris Cuomo interview that the former lawyer, the lawyer that did not get the conviction, that did not convince the court that she was innocent, Steve Shirilla claims that the lawyer said to him, throw me under the bus, throw me under the bus. Is that true? Is that true? That is not true. That is an assertion. And that is not going to end terrific. Will that lawyer come back? That lawyer is going to come back. Queen of Pentacles. He's also, all right, mark it here, guys. I'm doing a future cast. Let me do a little future cast for you. Future cast, you ready? If Steve Shirilla continues to throw that lawyer under the bus, that lawyer is going to come out and say that they did not heed any of the advice, the Mackenzie nor her parents. And he's also going to say that they haven't been paid, that they have not squared up the bill with his, or I shouldn't say that. I don't know if it was a public defender, but they haven't squared up. There's money that's owed. So they didn't square up. So I don't know, even if it was a public defender, I think that they still have PR that they may have to take care of, and that might have come through. But I don't think it was a public defender. I'm taking that back. I don't think it was a public defender. Margie, good to see you. So, future of Natalie, the mom. Let's look at the future of Natalie. If you have questions about this case, drop them, guys. Lots of caps on it. I won't think you're yelling at me. I'm just old and blind. Old and blind. Blind, deaf, and dumb. I'm not dumb. Not dumb. So, all right. All right. 43 minutes, guys. I don't want to make this live too long. And I got to keep an eye on my calendar over here. Make sure my calendar is not filling up with new peeps. Booking 15 and 30-minute sessions for today. I have 15 and 30-minute sessions available today. So if you want to take it offline. Did she leave? I don't think she left. All right. Wifey! Wifey! All right. Natalie Shirilla. Natalie Shirilla. Oh, we got two. We got two. 8 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. That's curious, guys. That is curious because I do think I got you, Sean's. I got you, Sean's. Hang on. I'll take a look at that. I will take a look at that. So 8 of Swords, stuck in place, but wanting to leave. Does Natalie's mom want out of the marriage? Yes. Look at that. 2 of Cups in reverse. Hierophant. Can't do anything. Emperor. They are stuck together. You know, a lot of people say cheaper to keep her. In this situation, it is cheaper to keep him. So I think she possibly wants out of the situation. I do think that a lot of pressure has been put on both of them for as a result of this crazy court case that their kid has gotten them involved in. So, Sean, sit tight. I'm going to get to you in a minute. So, Future cast, I don't think Mackenzie is ever going to make it out of prison. Oh, it's Con Shawnery. Oh, I didn't know that. Hi, Con Shawnery. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Got all the Slevins. I got all the Slevins in. All right. Hang on, wifey. That is a big question. And I don't want to stay on too long. So I think I may do that in another one because I have open hours right now. So if anybody books with me, I'm going to have to jump over. There you go. Wifey, I'll read it. Okay. I'll read it. Just sit tight, sit tight, sit tight. All right. So, I am going to close up the questions though. I'm going to close. You can ask questions about Natalie, about the Shirilla case. But don't ask any personal questions right now. Not trying to be difficult, guys. Not trying to be difficult. All right. So, what about the daughter? There's another daughter. What about the other daughter? And it's really terrible because I just feel like she is really like staring out the window. 2 of Swords. She wants out of there. 9 of Swords. This is an incredibly stressful family for her. She wants to say a lot of things. She wants to take care of a lot of things like Danielle. Thank you, Alexander. She wants to leave home. Alexander, do you know how old she is? Because like this is somebody who wants to get out of there and she can't. She hates it there. She hates it there. It was always about Mackenzie. I'm going to take this Solidite in my hand again. A little Solidite, guys. Again, Otter Spirit. Links are in my bio with discount codes if you want to hook yourself up. This kid, it's almost like at this point, she's almost like one of those kids that the family has because the older kid needs bone marrow or a kidney or may need a kidney at some point. This particular kid has been grossly underestimated. They liked the flashy life that Mackenzie was setting up. Danielle, not so much. They don't expect her to do anything like that. She's not going to get a brand deal that's $2 million. Oh, she's younger. Okay, she's younger. Thank you, Alexander. That she's not going to be able to provide for the parents, and that's why it's a problem. If she just wants to go to school and just do her own thing, so we can throw her a little bit of love. Throw this one a little bit of love. I am getting that the mother wants the younger sister to speak out about Natalie. That just came through. And she doesn't want to do it. She does not want to do it. And she is not going to do it. She's going to hold her tongue on this. She's not going to read the script that the mother wants to write for her. And specifically on social media, I think that Natalie wants Danielle to kind of promote positive information on her social media. I almost feel like Danielle is like, I am never going on social media. I just don't want to be a part of it. It's kind of hard to do in this world. Like everything, I have apps that make me log in on my social media with my social media. So, this kid is going to refuse, and it's going to be a great moment of empowerment for her. If ever there was a karmic task for this child, she's not really a child, but if there ever was a karmic task, experience that someone had to do, that's what's going on right now. And she needs to step away from her family. And that's really hard for a young kid. It's very hard to step away from your family and go out, especially in 2026. But I do think that she is really going to make the effort to kind of divorce her family, which is quite sad, but I think quite necessary. This is the task that's before her. She needs to shine on her own. She needs to develop on her own. And that is what is coming up for Danielle. So I know I had a couple of people reach out to me because they saw my live and they were worried about me. They were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm totally fine." Just sometimes we get those scary moments in psychic work where we encounter something like that. Greg, when I taught him how to remote view, he actually remote viewed an underground facility and saw some non-human entities in there. And one of them looked right at him and he was like, "I'm out of here." Now, you know, I've said it before, the difference between remote viewing and astral projection. Astral projection, we keep a bit more of our physical being. I should say physical being. We remain a lot more visible. Remote viewing, it's like a psychic telescope. So like we stay here and we kind of watch from where we are. But that's a little, with practice, you can do that. You know, with practice, you can do that. Let's get to some of your questions, guys. I'm going to pop off on some of these questions and then we are going to be done. Cindy. So real quick in the chat, tell me what is your biggest goal or something that you'd like to correct about yourself, and I will see which bracelet will be the best for you. Let me get over here. I'm going to pull up the Otter Spirit site. Otter Spirit. So just give me a heads up. Whoop. Why is StreamYard giving me a hard time? Yeah. New life and fresh start. And you're going to need some patience. Okay, so there we go. Let me see. All right. So let me see. I think they have one for new beginnings. Yes! Ha! Look at that. Where'd it go? I just lost it. I just had it up. New beginnings. Okay. So I'm going to screen share. So there you go there, Miss Cindy. So the new beginnings bracelet pack, and this comes in mini. You can see these are nice and itty bitty. You know, when we go back on, I'll show you the difference in size. I have some minis and some full size on. But there's the mini $79.90 and the regular, they're actually on sale this month. 100. So you would get 30% off with the Fortune 30. The bracelet sizes come in small, medium, large, and extra large if you want them to dangle. And what you get is the labradorite, which I really like labradorite. I actually keep a labradorite on my water in my bathroom. It's a little covered carafe, and that is confidence, intuition. The Otter Spirit version is natural AA stones. It comes from Canada, and it's going to awaken your intuition, spiritual insight, but also protects your energy and supports personal growth, which you're going through as you move. The rhodonite is balance and love. So it's going to balance you between point A and point B. Origin is Brazil. These are AAA graded stone. It's a beautiful rose pink. I have some rhodonite, but I do have it upstairs. And then the rainbow moonstone bracelet. Moonstone is one of my favorite stones. I love it, love it, love it. I actually have multiple moonstone bracelets from Otter Spirit. These come in AAA grading. They're very, very high quality. They come from Tanzania or I can't say it. So it has the milky quality of moonstone, but it has flecks of blue, rainbow. There's all kinds of iridescent. It has a little bit of a feel like mother of pearl, but it's not mother of pearl, of course. Very, very shifty, beautiful glow, great for the summer. So this is going to balance you as well. And it's also going to provide healing as you leave the last place and move on to the new place. So again, guys, there's a link in my about section. There are codes that you can use to get some money off and put some money back in your pocket. So you can raise your spirits and your bank account at the same time. So Cindy, I hope that helps you as you progress through this amazing new change in your world. So there's some cool stuff going on for Cindy. And this keeps putting that up. All right. So now we've got some Mackenzie Shirilla questions. We do this. We are going to hide this current comment. And you know what? We're getting rid of this. Remove. There we go. Save changes. Okay. I removed the Facebook feed because it was blocking my view. We won't do that again. I couldn't see any of your comments, guys. So there we go. There we go. All right, guys. Oh, and if you're a June baby, every month, Otter Spirit has featured packs for the sun signs of the month and also for June. So, or for every month, they always have like a good pack that's up there, and they further discount those, and you can still use the discount code. So let's go. We've got another question here. Isar, you're next. Sit tight. How many years is Natalie going to end up doing? How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Go. Chariot. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. I never say ain't, guys. I only say it like kidding around. She's not going anywhere. She's not going to leave that prison. 10 of Cups, happy at home. 8 of Swords, she will not be released. This spirit, the entity that is in her, is perfectly content to kind of ride out the time in the women's reformery. She's not leaving. She's not getting out of prison. And again, I want to stress, this is the energy right now. This is the energy right now. So something could happen, but I do think that the ultimate destiny of this particular spirit that is in her is going to be kaput. It's not, she's not going to be an old lady. She's not going to be an old lady. She's not going to get out at 40, have some babies, have a life. She's not doing that. She's going to be in there. There's a restlessness to her spirit. For those of you that are sensitive or empathic, there's a restlessness to her spirit because that entity is really wanting to go out and corrupt and do things that will be disruptive, chaos agent. But, there'd be more return on investment, I guess, if the entity was on the outside. But, it's like a buffet of yucky stuff when you're on the inside. So she may be complaining about stuff, but honestly, it does not seem like she's doing that bad. It does not seem like she's doing that bad. So she's, Alexander, I agree. She's exactly where she belongs. She's exactly where she belongs. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want me to try and connect with the spirit that was Mackenzie Shirilla that left. That may be a deep, dark dive into some craziness. And I'm a little afraid like I'll scramble my brains on that. But for you guys, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it for the clicks and the likes and the notoriety. The internet will be talking about me forever. Scamabelle had a stroke while she was doing mediumship. Uh, one, you guys want to see it how, look at the ones in there. No one has any sense of safety for me. No, it's okay. It's okay. I will figure out how we're going to do that, but we're going to do that Deep Dark Night. That is going to be a journey. It'll be a live journey. I think we're going to do it. Samantha. So, yeah, I don't think she invited it in, but she left the door unlocked. Let's put it that way, Zeph. I think she left the door unlocked. So there it is. So Haley, thank you for your contribution. You are fantastic. We're going to go over to a personal question here from Isar. I am training, and I just want to put some selenite on this real quick. Guys, if you are a reader or psychic of some sort, put some selenite on your decks. You can use a little bit of incense. You can use some fire if you want to use some fire. But make sure you keep your decks clean in between. I have a whole bunch of decks on my table, and sometimes I'll switch them up and let them clean out for a minute. Also, your selenite, once you clean something intense like this, put it down into the ground, let it discharge into the earth where it can be recycled and reused appropriately. So, appropriately. Well, allegedly, wifey, she did have voodoo dolls and things like that. She told people that she had done a spell on Dominic so he would never leave her, and it did appear that he was having some trouble leaving her. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Isar, I'm training a new grad RN at work. She doesn't seem committed 100%. Do I see her succeeding at work? I'm actually going to give this deck a few more minutes under the selenite. Let's leave that over there. And we will pull this deck. So this is new grad RN. So, you know, there's something that we say in my family, and other people say, it's not just my family, but, you know, sometimes people go to university to get their MRS, their Mrs. degree. It's an old-fashioned saying. I think she's not committed because I think she does know that her focus really is somewhere else. The focus is to have an enriched life, possibly have some kids, move it on down. I don't know how old she is. But, you know, the moon is in reverse here. Moon's in reverse up here, Isar, because this individual doesn't care if anybody sees it. You know, sometimes like people quiet quit and some people loud quit. And I know you're just starting to train this individual, but you know, the quiet quit, you don't see the resignation coming. The loud quit, they're causing a lot of problems, causing a lot of ruckus, and they're kind of annoying on site. So, you know, I do think that she's got one foot out the door before she even gets settled. I do think she's going to settle though. Is it with you guys? Maybe not. There may be another offer out there that she takes. And I'm just going to wiggle everybody over here so you can see what we got. Seven of Swords, the shadiness is seen. And, you know, I get the Seven of Swords when people resign from jobs a lot. It's not that they're like quitting badly. They're not like, you know, Scarface and half-baked, like, F you, you're cool. They're not doing that. And it's not like they're setting it up so that they screw over the hospital or company or whatever. This is more like a 0 F's kind of thing. Well, this is my life, and I'm not gonna stay in a place where I'm not happy. So, you know, you can train me, and I'll take the training pay, but you know, it's just not gonna work out. And I think that's fine. I don't see a long tenure. But if this individual has trouble finding another position, they will stay, and they'll come along. So. that is absolutely a possibility. So don't sweat that too much. But Isar, thank you so much for your contribution. Sean Conchonery. So all right, we're gonna look at the conditions of Scotland taking the World Cup. And laughy face, like, is this like, I don't get the joke. Like, are they like the Jets of like the World Cup? So what are the chances of them winning? Oh, it's not good. Like, that doesn't look good. I'm sorry. It's not that they don't want to. I think that their coaching and their leadership has a couple of holes in it. They've got a few pieces of really, really good talent there. It sounds terrible. They have good talent, but they don't have a good director. They don't have a good coach to kind of get them in the right spot. So you guys are I hope you're not laughing at me. Mustard. So are they going to win the World Cup? Let's let the pendulum decide. Here we go. Scotland, what's the chance they get the World Cup? They're going to take the World Cup. I got to know, Sean. I got to know. So we'll all go over. Maybe I'll go over and I'll go to one of those betting sites, speculation sites. So I'm going to say no, Sean. I think their coaching is not good. And let me know if I'm on. I know nothing about sports. Absolutely nothing. My cousin got married the other night and Friday night. And like there was a lot of sports references in the speeches. And my kids and my husband and my husband, Gregopedia, who is not dead. I was like, we're in the dark over here. We don't know what anybody's talking about. We have no idea what's going on. We're just not sporty people. We just don't watch sports, So, Samantha, is it going to be fisticuffs? Or are you going to go fight, Conchonery, fighting Conchonery? Everybody's fighting Sean Connery. Everybody was Conchonery fighting. All right, so let's get to last question. Wifey's question. Wifey, thank you for your contribution. I appreciate it. Wifey has been in the cookie jar at Fortune Cookies Tarot forever. She was one of my first subs. She was one of the first subs that I ever spoke with. Like she is a long hauler. She is a lifer. So, and I'm glad to have her here. We are friends. Okay. It'll need divine intervention to get Scotland even in the next round. Okay. They need a new coach. Get them a new coach. Oh, there can be only one. Now I gotta watch the Highlander tonight. Which by the way, guys, because of the Chemical Brothers, Greg and I watched Apex last night on Netflix. That's the new Charlize Theron and what is his name? Taron Egerton, who is adorable. He is adorable. So we watched that last night. It's kind of an action-packed movie. There's not a great deal of dialogue. His dance is fabulous, though. This is great. I love it. Oh wait, what's happening? Why are you giggling? What is going on here? So, yes, reports of Gregopedia's passing have been greatly exaggerated. And guys, I was shuffling cards. That wasn't me faking being Greg. So he is still alive. So, all right. Emily Grace. Hi. Oh, this is horrible. Emily Grace stabbed 3 horses after losing a barrel race. Did they die? Who does that? That's horrible. All right, so let's tap it. And this is our last question, guys. We're gonna bug on out of here. Reminder: if you guys want to take it offline, you can drop in and get a reading from me. I've got 15-minute and 30-minute sessions available today. Fast and dirty. That's how we like it on Sunday. Right, Gregopedia?
Good.
Fast and dirty. Fast and dirty.
And dirty.
Fast and dirty.
Just like last night.
Woo! Oh, one of them didn't make it. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. All right, so what is going to happen to Emily Grace? Not so graceful.
Made it take 7,000 horses find comfort in her bed.
With the what? Oh, the heads. Okay, I got you.
Take 7,000 horses find comfort in her bed.
So, absolutely banned from the sport. I'm going to say that. Yeah, absolutely banned from the sport. That's not something we have to be worried about. And it's not, sometimes like in Blades of Glory, they got banned from the sport for fighting, Blades of Glory, one of my favorite movies. Banned from the sport, 100%, not going to be able to go back and do that. She's angry about that. So we may see a little bit of a fight on that. Like, hey, I should be allowed to do it. We're going to segue back to Mackenzie Shirilla after this, because I do think that there's some interesting through lines with these two ladies. She is going to say that it was like a moment of madness, and that she really, the rest of her career, she's going, it is a testimony to how dedicated she is to horses and blah, blah, blah. It's going to fall on deaf ears. It's not going to work. The impact of the other people that are affected in that industry and sport, the voices are going to be too loud. And she's getting off easy as far as all of them are concerned. If she even attempted to show her face at rodeo or anything that is even remotely associated with this particular sport, she'll be run out of there. Like there will be private citizens that will walk up to her and go, "You got to go. You can't stay here. You're not wanted here." There are private individuals that will do that. They will bring over security and say, "Look, I can't be here if this woman's here. She's got to go." It'll be a little back and forth, and then she will opt to go because it's just going to be too awkward and difficult. This individual is going to, Emily Grace, she is going to attempt to become a spokesperson for mental conditions that cause situations like this. Again, Mackenzie Shirilla, she's going to try to make that her new brand. And it'll be 4 or 5 years down the road. She's going to try and be like, "Look, I had this like mental breakdown, blame it on the lockdown, blame it on, screens and social media and all that stuff. We'll blame it on everything but free will." Totally not a cool thing. She had a lot of free will in this. But she was in a rage when it was happening. And I think that's something that we're going to be talking about. I do think that there's going to be a number of mental health professionals that are going to really give their opinions on this, like why things like this are happening. Wifey, how old was she? Was she a kid? I'm not getting that she's a kid, but I think that she's kind of stunted, emotionally stunted, as I think a lot of these kids are that were stuck during lockdown. She's 17. Oh my, is she? Wow. I'm gonna pause for a moment of gratitude, guys. Little moment of gratitude. Everybody join hands with this one. Moment of gratitude. I have really good kids. And I'm really glad. I have really good kids and I'm really glad. Thank you. One of them's in the kitchen. My son went to the prom. He was home before 11 o'clock. I can't say that I was home before 11 o'clock at any prom that I went to. 11 o'clock, he was home. So,
Well, it was lame. Nobody manifested telekinetic powers and got big blood all over them. It's kind of ruined for them.
I know. Told Angus to stay away from the telekinetic girls at the prom. So is she going to be found guilty? I think there's going to be some outrage about the sentence or punishment. I want to say punishment because I do think that it's a punishment. There's going to be some outrage about it. I don't think that the sentence or punishment will be as big as people want it to be. I think that there is going to be like a community service aspect of this. And I do think that her representation is going to suggest that maybe she should work with horses, and that's going to be a flat no. No one's going to want her involved in that. So I think likely probation, banning from the sport and being around horses, and I think a great deal of community service, giving back. Does she have to provide restitution for the horse that didn't make it, or the vet bills, restitution? Six of Swords, she doesn't have anything. King of Cups, and the Emperor. I think she will issue apologies. Yeah, I know, but wifey, it's going to be part of like the whole thing. It's going to be like, yeah, I just don't, I think, are they trying her as a juvenile? Here's the thing, guys, and it's really unfortunate because there are a number of celebrities that are spokespeople for this. Animals do not count the same as people, unfortunately. Insurance policies, and those very, very well, insurance policies do not consider your pets to be valuable livestock. Farm animals, they do. Livestock, they do have a monetary value, but if you're a regular citizen and something happens, there's no monetary value put on, my Trevor Cat, MC, Gigi, Pusheen, AJ, Lily, and Raven. There's just, what's that?
That should have been first.
Should have been first. So, in this circumstance, hey, Humanaki, in this circumstance, I think we run into that situation. They are considered valuable. I do think that she has to provide some kind of apology or something. Restitution is not possible because I don't believe that she has any, she doesn't have the finances available to do that. So let's see this. How about the psychological treatment for her? Will she get treatment for that? Two of Pentacles. So, and this is going to be our last one, 10 of Swords. Let me move that over so it's on the screen. So at the beginning of this live, we talked a little bit about walk-ins and sharing a body with another energetic host, sharing space. And I think we saw the same thing here to a certain extent. The rage component of it is not necessarily when she was on the horse and she lost the barrel racing. It was when she got down and And they talk about the blind rage that people go into, the red mist that some of our first responders, law enforcement, soldiers, that kind of thing, the red mist that takes over. Harry talks about it. I don't think he really has an understanding of it, but you turn into a berserker at a point when you are so filled with this rage. And I do think that is a point where some of these entities can jump in. Having agency and control over your emotional components, really, really important. And in this case, I do think that she kind of blacked out. Parents had sent Emily a serious text. Emily was stalking their kids, severely bullying and harassing. Yeah. There's that. Humanaki, Mackenzie Shirilla is the girl from the Netflix movie The Crash. She crashed her car, and it was determined that she did it on purpose, and she took her boyfriend Dominic Russo and his friend Davion Flanagan off the earth plane. So it's not an easy watch. But it's easier than watching some of the coverage. Skrillex is her father. Alien Cowboy Farmer. I said she should hook up with David. I'm a terrible person. It wasn't a crash. Yeah, I agree. So I do think that things are going to be a little tricky.
It was a car intentional.
I do think that things are going to be a little bit difficult for Emily Grace. To a lesser extent, the Mackenzie Shirilla case kind of matches up with this, guys. I think, when we're talking about intention, when we're talking about actions, intentional actions, I think we're seeing the same thing here. So, boys and girls, how was our live today? How was this surprise Sunday live? What did you guys think? What did you think? It was fun, right? Seeing me on a Sunday in this state of undress. Good times. Oh, I'll tell you what's in my coffee. So I have a Ninja coffee machine. It's got it's not the new one that's like $600, but it's just like a regular one. But I do have an iced coffee feature on it. So what I do is I make regular strength iced coffee, do that, and I put a good scoop of sweetened condensed milk in there, and then I do a little splash of heavy cream and a splash of some 2% milk, just a splash, like just a little bit, and I grate some fresh nutmeg on it, and then stir, and this is like the most delicious thing. Greg, you like it, right?
Yes, I love it. Went for the cats. I want to eat it again.
Gregopedia, my funny husband. So, and I saw, I think Cindy said Greg looked so dapper on at the wedding. Cindy, I'll send you over a picture of all of us with the kids, and you'll see us. Everybody looked really great. We had a great night, and as when you get an invitation to a black tie wedding, I mean, this is my cousin, like I adore my cousin, but she's much younger than me. She's not even 30. So when you get an invitation to a black tie wedding, like I know everyone goes, oh, but we just bought Greg a new tuxedo because one does need a tuxedo and they don't go out of fashion very quickly. So we got him a new tuxedo, and Angus needed a tuxedo for the prom. And I didn't post pictures, wifey. I'll send you some. I'll text you some. Oh, we both did. I'll send you pictures of the kids, Cindy. They looked really cute. But so when I went back to the shop, and I told I guess he's a haberdasher. What?
I think he's a clothier.
Clothier. So I told him, I said, I need to rent the tux for this weekend and next weekend because we have Angus's prom and then we have a wedding. And he said, listen, Annabelle, come in. His name's Steven. Come in. Like my hairdresser. Come in. He goes, I'd love to rent you a tuxedo for both events. He goes, but we only rent them in 4-day blocks. So if you rent for the 2 weekends, it's going to be like $700 and some odd dollars with the shoes and the hat and the shoes and the shirt and all the accoutrement. He goes, but I'm telling you, if you buy one, it's going to be $425 flat. You'll get the shoes, you get the cufflinks, you get everything with it, and you've got it, you own it. And I said, well, what about, he's not even 19 yet. I said, is he going to outgrow it? And he said, if he outgrows it in the next year or two, he goes, it's still a slim style. He said, you could always flip it and sell it to somebody else. It looked magnificent on Angus, and we didn't even have to take anything in. We just had to bring up the cuffs and the pant legs just a little bit. So, but he got a blue and black tux. It's a little bit different. It looks really, really gorgeous on him. And, my boy's just really handsome, and they got to bond at the wedding, and, there was a few Modelos that were had. So it was a good night all around. Beautiful wedding. Amazing, amazing facility. Wifey, I'll send you the cathedral, the chapel that they had the wedding in as well, because it was a conservatory. It was, I'm like, now I got to win the lottery and build a conservatory off the back of my house. But always wanted one, like Gomez and Morticia. So, all right, kids. So this is what I'm going to tell. Oh, wait. Whose bird? Oh, no. Well, yeah, it was amazing. It was just this amazing thing. And I even said to Greg, I go, even if it was thunder and lightning right now, like this would be an amazing place to get married. So really, really, truly beautiful. So, all right, kids, I am going to go. I've got some appointments this afternoon, but if you want your own magical reading, I have 15 and 30-minute appointments that are on the schedule for today. I only make those available every now and then. I've got my regular 1-hour appointments for the rest of eternity. You can always book those with me in the evenings and on the weekends. And what else? Go check out Otter Spirit and make sure you use my link. It's in my About section. Zeph dropped it a bunch of times too. And I have made a change to my text message and WhatsApp readings. They are now available 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. So basically what you do is you book it, make your payment. It's $11.11. You get one question and a follow-up question. You can text message me back or WhatsApp me back. If you need to do it through email, that's fine. You can do it through email too. But if you want to add a voice note, you can make it 2222 and I will put a voice note in there as well. But it's like basically like one good question. Don't ask me 55 questions on a text message question because I can't do it. But the idea is that I can answer these all day and all night, baby. So I just want to make sure that you guys, while you're on the beach, while you're at the lake, while you're out on your boat, you can get a question answered. Is this the best possible fishing spot to pick up my mahi-mahi? Yes, it is. Is this the best person for me to go on a date with? No, it is not. And if you want to go a little bit deeper on that, Wednesday nights, Barney from the Barnosphere and I are giving dating advice, not psychic advice, just dating advice. We're going to stream live on my channel and his channel. Go on over there and give him a sub and watch his videos. We're trying to get his watch hours up because we're trying to get him back on the monetization kick. So if somebody can drop Barney's link, that would be fantastic. You can watch the show on my channel and his, but go give him a sub anyway. He's a great guy. He's got great content, interesting insight that he gives. And we're we're taking questions. You can email into us as well. Barney, what is our email again? I'm sorry, I don't have the hot sheet in front of me. But we do have an email. You can email in questions and we'll answer them anonymously. Right now, we have a huge list, so you may get waitlisted for a little while. And we are eventually going to bring on anonymous guests. So make sure that you guys come on over, have some laughs, learn some things. You find out some things. I'm like an open book, you know, like you hear my whole life. But come on over and visit us on Wednesday night. That's going to be permanent all through the summer. So if you're looking to set up dates for the weekend, make sure that you come see us on Wednesday night. If for nothing else, to hang out. We have great communities. We have very, very different communities. Going to be a fun time to have us all chatting together. endtimeslove@gmail. That's our email if you guys want to send in your questions. So let us know that you want to be anonymous. If you want to say your name, totally fine. We can do that as well. So guys, that is going to be it for me for today here on the interwebs. But like I said, if you want your own magical reading, hit me up. If you want those text messages readings, hit me up for that. And I will be back. I am going to do a mixtape live tomorrow. So you're going to get some mixtape tarot in the morning. All right, guys? Don't you worry. I'm going to package it up nicey, nicey, nice. All right? So I will be back. We're getting back to business as usual. So thank you so much. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your generosity of time, guys. I love the super chats and super stickers, but I know that, oh, Zeph, you have a lunch date. I'm going to call you. I'm going to do that privately. We're not going to do that on here. I'm going to do that privately. Go have some fun. Go enjoy it. It's summertime here in the Northern Hemisphere, and I will see you all in the future. Bye for now.